Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bruce the Moose in Wisconsin. Today we are going to review part 3 of the Maricopa County Attorney's Office Investigations Report. This is in the Arizona v. Owens criminal case. Now, we're going to try and finish today. We're on page 75 of 118. Oh boy. A few ground rules. If we hit an exhibit that is like a block of text messages or an email that we've seen before in other coverage of this case, I'm not going to read the entire exhibit. We'll note what it is and we'll move on. What we're really interested in here is what is new that the investigators found in their report that we can learn from. And so that's what we are going to do today. I have a cup and a half of coffee. Why do I put my finger up like that? What am I doing? I don't know. Guys, it's Saturday morning. It's the weekend. Let's relax and read the investigative report, shall we? Okay, where am I? We're on page 75. We're on a new report. We've got Detective Bo. This was 5/7/25, so not too long ago. I had telephone contact with victim Clayton Echard on 4/29/2025 at approximately 14:30 hours. This telephone contact was audio recorded. The following is a summary. I began by telling Clayton that I was reviewing some information and working on a report and that I had some questions. I asked if Laura contacted him about a week prior to their meeting. Clayton said that it was a week or two. I asked if he recalled the exact date. Clayton told me that Laura reached out to him on LinkedIn, and he could find the date through that, and he could trace it with his text messages. I said I understand that she contacted him on LinkedIn and asked how soon after that she made phone contact. Clayton said that it was pretty quick after because he had given her his cell number for the purpose of viewing homes. Clayton said that they began texting right after his LinkedIn contact. Clayton felt that they texted for a couple of weeks, then she came to his home that one night. And I've always found it interesting, who finds a real estate agent on LinkedIn? You would think Laura would be able to find a real estate agent through a referral, maybe from her parents' realtor, the realtor they used to buy their Arizona property, or a referral from that real estate agent. It just seems coincidental to me that this is how they met. A little suspicious. I said that I understood that Laura Owens sent him a provocative photo of some type. Oh boy, guys, it's not even 11 o'clock in the morning. Clayton said that she sent him a photo of her butt. Not nude, but in spandex shorts or something like that. Wow. I was worried for a minute. I asked Clayton if he still had that picture. Clayton indicated that he could locate it in his computer. I asked what Laura was doing in the picture aside from what she was wearing. Clayton said she wasn't doing anything lewd. She was just showing off her shape. There was no nudity or anything like that. Very good. I asked if she was by a pool, by the stables, or in her home. Clayton could not recall the background. Clayton asked if he should pull the image from his computer. I indicated so. Clayton also asked if I wanted timelines on the first LinkedIn messages. I said yes. When she first contacted him on LinkedIn and when they had the first phone contact. I asked Clayton if he knows what the date was when Laura took the pregnancy test at his home. Clayton said he could identify it from the timestamp on the photo, but does not know it off the top of his head. I asked if this was the one she took in the bathroom. Clayton said yes. I told Clayton that when we first spoke, he mentioned that he thought Chris Lane may have been a victim or a witness of some type. I told Clayton that he was on an earlier season of The Bachelor and he thought he may have been a victim or witness. Clayton said there was a guy, but he didn't think his last name was Lane. He said he was picturing a different guy. Clayton told me that there was a guy that had interacted with her that was on The Bachelorette. She tried to make advances and he shot her down. It never became a thing. Clayton said that he never knew Chris Lane and he thinks it may have been another guy. The other guy never engaged with her. So, my thoughts on this paragraph from my minimal Bachelor knowledge. I think there's evidence of Laura being photographed with a few people from the Bachelor universe back in the San Francisco radio days. I believe one of them was Ben Z. And I think there was also another one whose name I don't recall, but I don't think it was Chris or Chris Lane. There was a Chris Soules who was the Bachelor. I believe there is a Chris Lane celebrity, maybe a singer, who married somebody who was on The Bachelor or was The Bachelorette, but that Chris Lane celebrity was not on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. So I think they may have their names a little confused here. And, people have reported that they think Laura sent audition tapes to The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, and that may have been around the time frame of the Chris Soules season. Anyway, if Caitlin Bristow can figure all this out, because I believe she knows Ben Z and a lot of people in the Bachelor universe, maybe she can find something out about this paragraph. But that's the extent of my knowledge, guys. Let's keep reading. I asked Clayton to send me the information with the dates when he has the opportunity. I asked Clayton if he lost any jobs or any money due to this. Clayton said that he had one documented deal that he lost. And of course, losing a deal like that is one rung in the ladder of a potential defamation case that Clayton could theoretically bring. I think he has a reasonable case, especially when you consider the details we know about Chase J. Jones and this deal that he lost. Now, is it worthwhile to bring a defamation case? Even if you can, should you? If Miss Owens is as indigent as she claims, there may be no point in spending money to bring a defamation case to try and recover these losses, unfortunately. On the plus side for Clayton, he did receive his ruling of non-paternity and judgment of fees from the paternity case itself. Okay. Clayton said that it was a skincare company and they stopped responding to him. Clayton reached out to see why they stopped. They sent him an email indicating that they were going to pull the partnership in light of the allegations. I asked Clayton to send me the email. Very good. I asked if there was a position with a self-harm support group. Clayton said that it was a mental health support group and Laura was trying to stop him from speaking, saying that he was a deadbeat dad and that he didn't care about her mental health. Clayton said he wasn't getting paid for that. So I guess he lost that was an opportunity loss as opposed to a financial loss. Clayton said concerning the money that he lost, it would be under $10,000. He said that he couldn't get a lot of places to respond. The companies would not respond back and they wouldn't tell him why. I asked about Dancing with the Stars. Clayton said that he really didn't think he was in contention for that. And we saw earlier in part 2, the interview with Jan Black. She claims that she thinks Clayton was just trying to get a spot on Dancing with the Stars. So maybe that's why he's asking this question. Okay. Clayton said that he would send me the information via email. I received an email from Clayton on April 29th, 2025, containing a PDF titled Date of Pregnancy Test Sent, First contact via LinkedIn, Lost Skincare Brand Deal 1, and Provocative Video Figure 5. See below. Do I have to? For science, guys. After reviewing the email images, I noted that the LinkedIn contact was on May 17th, 2023, and the first text exchange also began on May 17th, 2023. The date of the event at Clayton's home was on May 20th, 2023. So we go from LinkedIn to email on the same day. We go from, or text messages. We go from text messages to Events at Clayton's home 3 days later. This is very fast. The text message to Clayton with the pregnancy announcement was June 1st, 2023. Not very long after May 20th. Wow. Okay, and we have some exhibits. I'm not going to read everything in the exhibits. We can take a quick look at them. These are the ones with that were used to date the contact on LinkedIn and the text messaging. Okay. And note here, this is interesting as we get into the bankruptcy case in more detail. Let's actually, I do want to read this first message here. Hi, Clayton. It's Laura Owens from LinkedIn. Super eager to get started investing and already connected with a hard money lender who will fund 85% LTV once I find the right properties. I'm especially interested in 85 254 if you know of anything. Okay. Very good. And so that is consistent with her claim that she told Clayton that she had a lender who was going to supply, maybe that's where this $450,000 money market account came from. The problem she has in the bankruptcy case is that she signed an affidavit saying it was her money in her account. And then later in the bankruptcy case, she clarified it with these type of details. So it's an inconsistency. Does it arise to the level of perjury? That's for investigators, prosecutors, judges, and juries to figure out. I'm sure we all have our own opinions. Okay, and we've got the LinkedIn details here. I'm going to skip those and the message to Clayton from the skincare company where they say, we are concerned about continuing with this partnership due to the current events that have just come to light. I hope you can understand. And we wish Clayton the best. Oh, all the best. All the best, Skin Health Group. Oh, boy. Okay. And then there's the photo of Laura with her horse wearing the yoga outfit. What are you going to do? All right. If I was trying to send a photo so my realtor knew what I looked like before we met, I don't think that's the photo I would send. But anyway, what do we have next, guys? Maricopa County Attorney's Office submittal form. Okay. Off we go with some charges and a supplemental report form. Very good. This is from 7/23/2024. Detective Gonzalez. Okay, we've got Greg Gillespie. On 7/23/2024, I conducted an interview with Greg Gillespie. The interview was audio recorded and saved to the server. The following is a summary of the interview, although not verbatim. For additional information, please refer to the recording. Greg explained he met Laura Owens when she contacted him on a dating app June 30th, 2021. A couple of days later, they decided to go on a date. Greg described the first date as a fairly normal experience, but did say Laura was pushing to come back to his house. Greg and Laura went on a second date the next day. He said it went well. They went out for a couple of hours and went back to his house. Greg and Laura engaged in adult activities while at his house. He said they used a condom, and Laura told him she was on birth control. Greg and Laura went out one more time, after which he dropped her off at home. From that time on, they communicated over text messages and emails, except for a meeting on July 4th. This is when Greg told Laura he was not interested in dating her. Okay, so they started connecting on June 30th, and he breaks it off on July 4th. Oh my gosh, that's very fast. It's not a very long period of time for that one. This is when Greg told Laura he was not interested in dating her. Laura then started to text Greg excessively during the next 13 days in an attempt to get him to change his mind. Oh boy. Greg realized he was not dealing with a normal person. Through text message, he told Laura if she kept contacting him, he was going to block her number. This worked for 24 hours, and Laura started contacting him again. Around the 14th day, Laura sent Greg a picture of a positive pregnancy test. Sound familiar? Eventually, she would state that she was having twins. Sound familiar? Greg knew it was not possible Laura was pregnant with his children. He said he used a condom, and when he ejaculated, he pulled the condom off and ejaculated on Laura's back. It's not even noon, guys. Greg got up to get a towel for Laura, which he says only took a few seconds. That's nice. When he returned, Laura was clean and she said she already took care of it. That's with what? Always bring a towel. Greg felt this was strange and thought she may have tried to shove the semen up her vagina. Greg said his mind was spinning and he started to look things up, but he still felt that it was not possible she was pregnant. And this is just a story that mirrors the Clayton Echard story. Maybe specific details are different, but the theme, the points you hit in the cadence of a story, they're very similar. Similar testimony. Eventually, the subject of an abortion came up, but Laura had some stipulations about it. She would have an abortion if they could date long term and eventually have children the right way. The right way? Oh boy. Laura sent Greg an ultrasound around August 4th, 2021. And we've heard the recorded phone call and seen the text messages related to that. Now, Laura's claimed in conversations, like YouTube conversations with her lawyer, that she never got an ultrasound in the Greg Gillespie case. But we've seen the evidence that there was an ultrasound that she sent him. So this is a discrepancy. Greg performed a reverse Google image search and found the original ultrasound. It belongs to Redacted, who posted it on her blog. Greg also noted Laura manipulated the ultrasound to say 3 months and 0 days, and the original says 3 months and 2 days. Okay, those 2 days make all the difference, guys. Laura denied sending the ultrasound to Greg. However, he called her after she sent it to him and recorded the conversation. Greg says during the conversation, Laura can be heard telling him to look at the ultrasound. And we've heard that. She also claimed the ultrasound showed twins. And we've heard that. During their civil court case, Laura says that Greg sent the ultrasound to himself and hacked her computer to make it look like she sent it. And to me, that is a fairly extraordinary claim to assert that Greg must have sent the ultrasound to himself by hacking her computer. Where is the evidence of this hacking? I'm not interested in, well, Greg says he knows how to change corporate letterhead, or someone told me he was a hacker. I want hard forensic evidence for a claim like this because it's not a mundane claim. Okay. Greg said Laura supposedly took abortion pills prior to sending him the ultrasound. She claimed he forced her to take them. She also claimed the ultrasound shows twins, but one of them was dying because of the abortion pill she took. Greg told me he did not see her take the pills and he did not believe Laura ever took any abortion pills. I asked Greg if Laura wanted anything else from him besides a relationship. Interesting. He told me she wanted money. And of course, we now know she's filed for bankruptcy. She's said in testimony that she's never had a W-2 type of job. She's never received a W-2 or 1099 from her own family LLCs. Greg told me she wanted money. Interesting. He said he didn't want a lot of money. He said she didn't want a lot of money, but she kept threatening him with paying child support and for her mental health issues that may have come out of this situation. Greg said Laura sued him for $45,000. Well, sounds like a lot of money to me. He said she was asking for money and a guarantee that he would love her and marry her in 2 years. Wow, money and a dating contract and a marriage contract. That's a lot. I guess they say in negotiation you should ask for over what you're willing to negotiate to. Oh boy. Greg blocked Laura from calling him, but she kept calling him from different phone numbers that she would make using different apps. Every time he blocked her, she would make threats that he was going to have to pay her child support for the next 18 years. She also contacted his mom, dad, and sister. Again, sound familiar? I recall Laura contacting Clayton's parents as well. I asked Greg about an attorney in California that Laura knows. Greg told me Laura fabricated emails between her and this attorney, Joe Cotchett, and sent them to Greg. Greg believes it was Laura's way of bullying him to get him to comply with what she wanted. Right, intimidation. Greg's attorney reached out to Joe Cotchett's law firm, and they responded by saying they do not represent Laura. And of course, we've seen the emails between Greg and Laura where Laura brings up getting consultation from Joe Cotchett. So it's only natural that when Greg retains counsel, Greg Woodnick, they would contact Joe Cotchett to see if he is actually representing her, because it would be best to talk through him rather than talking to Miss Owens herself. So that seems reasonable to me. Now, Jan Black, in her interview in part 2, she claimed that Greg only knew about Joe Cotchett because he was a hacker. Again, extraordinary claims. I need some extraordinary hard evidence. I asked how he found out about Michael Maricini. He told me when Laura sent the ultrasound, he felt like she was using a blueprint. It made him feel like she had done this before. So we're starting to see the pattern from Mike to Greg to Clayton. Greg began Googling Laura's name, and within an hour, he found out about Michael's case. Greg's attorney researched the case and found out it also involved an alleged fake twin pregnancy. Greg reached out to Michael via Instagram, but he did not get a response. Eventually, Greg did meet Michael because of the case involving Clayton Echard. And sometimes these things, Instagram, you reply to somebody's story and it goes in like, if you're not already connected through Instagram, it goes in like this special folder that you have to navigate to see those messages, because usually they're spam or something like that. So I can understand how Mike may not have seen Greg's initial messages on Instagram. Okay. Greg said they did not discuss their cases, and what he knows about Michael's case is from what he heard on a podcast and also what he found out from his attorney. Greg told me Laura was only able to show a urine test to prove she may be pregnant. He does not think she was ever pregnant and believes she manipulated the urine test to show she's pregnant. This concluded my interview with Greg. He agreed to provide me with all records he obtained regarding the case. That's good. And yeah, I mean, that's fair, right? A blood or urine HCG test. Are you getting tired of me saying this, guys? A blood or urine HCG test is an indicator of pregnancy. It's not definitive clinical proof of pregnancy. If my driveway is wet, it's an indicator that it's raining, but it's not proof that it's raining. Somebody could have made my driveway wet with a hose. Kids could have been having a water balloon fight and got my driveway wet. We have to find out the root cause. We have to get evidence of clinical pregnancy to prove it. Next page, on 8/2/24, Greg Gillespie forwarded multiple emails sent to him from Laura. Greg saved these emails to document the situation between him and Laura. Greg retained counsel to defend himself from the lawsuit she filed against him because he would not agree to date her. Sometimes people just don't want to date other people, and it's not anyone's fault. They're just not compatible. Oh boy. The following are emails in blue Laura sent to Greg over 3 months after he blocked her 10 times. Oh, jeez. What does that mean? From 10 different numbers or 10 different accounts? Or was he blocking and unblocking? I'm not sure. A brief summary is written after each email. Okay, so this is an email from Laura to Greg. And we've seen these before. I'm not going to read these because this has the $45,000. This email references civil complaint, CV 2021 052893. The complaint detailed a claim that Greg owed Laura the sum of $45,000 for coercing her into having an abortion. She also makes it a point to bring up Greg's job and says she will have a process server contact his place of work. Inappropriate. So what is abortion coercion? If somebody manhandles you into swallowing abortion pills, to me, that's assault, criminal assault. I don't know why she's creating this language, abortion coercion. I think it's a appeal to emotion to make it sound very specific and special, as opposed to just saying, I was assaulted, here's my evidence, or here's my case and testimony. I'm not sure. But telling Laura, go ahead, take the pills, I want you to take the pills, or lying to her and saying, hey, if you take the pills, maybe we can date, and then saying, psych, see ya, I'm blocking you. It's rude, but it's not crime. Okay. We have another email here. In this email, Laura again acknowledges Greg blocked her from contacting him. She expresses she is experiencing emotional distress, but she's willing to drop the lawsuit if Greg keeps his word. She wants Greg to date her. This is very weird. This idea, like, I don't like how dishonest somebody is being with me, so I am going to threaten them with legal action unless they become more honest with me, or maybe not even honest, but unless they do what I want. It seems very manipulative to me. And of course, we've gone over these emails before. In this email, Laura threatens to file criminal charges in addition to the civil lawsuit if Greg does not agree to a real, genuine relationship. With intention, right? Sound familiar? We're seeing a pattern. She claims to still be pregnant with a single baby. She previously claimed to have twins. Okay, the babies are disappearing. This is your last chance. Cars are flying off the lot, guys. Laura Owens should have been a used car salesman. Her bargaining skills are scary, but impressive. This email was sent twice, one at 12:13 and 12:38 p.m. Oh dear. It is the same as the previous email. Okay. So she's sending duplicate copies of the same mail. In this email, Laura tells Greg she may retain Joe Cotchett as her counsel regarding her civil case. She also says Joe told her she should ask for more money and additional charges. She tells Greg that Joe would want to go to the media with the case. At the end of the email, Laura makes it clear she will drop the litigation if Greg dates her. I feel like if you feel like somebody has committed crime, you should report the crime. You shouldn't say, well, I won't report your crime if you date me. If somebody's doing crime, or if somebody is worthy of a civil case in court, you should do, if you have the justification for doing it, you should file that case. This bargaining does not seem rational to me. She tells Greg that Joe would want to go to the media with the case. Guys, do you think Uncle Joe Cotchett would do better or worse PR than Gingras? Let me know. At the end of the email, Laura makes it clear she will drop the litigation if Greg dates her. Laura also attached a note from One Medical, Lisa Daniels, PAC, who wrote a summary of Laura's recent visit. The note indicates Laura is pregnant. Greg believes Laura fabricated this note. On 8/14/2024, I contacted Lisa Daniels. She is still working for One Medical. Lisa confirmed that she did not write the "Your Pregnancy" note dated August 13th, 2021 at 4:31 p.m. that Laura sent to Greg. And see what the investigator has done here. He's followed the evidence. He says, Greg, give me this email. Okay, this email was sent to you from Laura, and it's got a copy of an email from Lisa Daniels. Let me go talk to Lisa Daniels. Lisa Daniels confirms the email is not legitimate. This is how you track, find, and have good evidence. When we looked at the Jan Black interview, she says, oh, Greg is hacking this, he's hacking that. But where is the same steps investigatively to get us to good evidence? Both Laura and Greg are saying here, I think the other person is fabricating evidence. So it's his word against her word. But what the investigator has done here is he has followed the leads that are provided and he has found direct evidence. So this is good. This is new. In this email, Laura still expresses her desire to date Greg. She even tells him she would be open to a surgical abortion if he still wanted to date her. She also tells him she would drop the lawsuit. Laura makes it clear if he does not date her, she will file for child support, have his wages garnished, and contact his family for a DNA test. Sound familiar? Let's get Brett from RavGen on the stand. Here's another email. In this email, Laura is threatening to file for additional punitive damages. We're up to $75,000 now. Where did we start? 35,000? I thought that was a lot. Or 45? We're up to 75. Oh, the cars are flying off the lot. The twins are flying out of the uterus. The price is going up, guys. The price is going up. Act now before time runs out. She tells him if she does not get an apology and have a relationship with her, she will also not get a surgical abortion. Can you imagine receiving these wall of text emails? It's tiring just scrolling past them, let alone being on the receiving end. These guys went through a lot. In this email, Laura makes it clear that she is going to involve Greg's place of work unless he changes his mind. She even sends him a copy of an email she's going to send to his employer. Bizarre. In this email, the emails are ongoing. In this email, Laura explains to Greg he is getting sued because he did not keep his word about wanting a serious relationship with her. I think if you hang out with Laura Owens, you're probably never allowed to change your mind about anything. It would be stressful. She also makes it clear that if he changes his mind, she can move forward with him. If not, she will move forward with the lawsuit. What? You're so upset with someone, you're about to file multiple lawsuits, but you're also okay with just dropping all these lawsuits if they want to be your boyfriend. What? No. No. Okay, and we got more emails. Oh, we got Joe Cotchett. And guys, let me just pause on this page 14 for a second to point out this shush in the middle of this supposed Joe Cotchett email. Where have we seen a shush like this before? From our friend Chase J. Jones? Investigation continues. Okay. In the above email, Laura sends Greg copies of her conversations with Joe Cotchett and his staff. Greg believed Laura did this to bully him into dating her. She makes it seem like she may hire Joe for the case against Greg. However, she writes that she is going to give Greg one more chance to change his mind and date her. I feel if this was an email chain between me and my car dealer, my car would have been bought off the lot already. I don't know. Oh no, these emails are so long, guys. And of course, this is where Woodnick is trying to go back and forth with Joe Cotchett to figure things out. In the above email, Laura sends Greg an email conversation that occurred between her and Casey Bowman, an attorney Greg hired to represent him. She again makes it clear that if Greg engages in a relationship with her, she'll drop the lawsuit. She threatens additional lawsuits if he does not pursue a relationship with her. So multiple attorneys now have seen this evidence, this case, Casey Bowman, Greg Woodnick, and we have these email trails that the investigators have followed. In the above email, Laura threatens Greg with criminal charges in addition to the civil lawsuit. I mean, Laura can file a police report, but Laura is not a county attorney. Laura cannot file criminal charges. She can file a police report, and if the police and the prosecutors work with her, she can press charges with them at their discretion. But she's not in charge. She can't file criminal charges all by herself. Again, she tells him she'll drop all charges if he chooses to stand by his word and date her. Oh boy. In the above email, Laura sends Casey an additional email, justice for Casey Bowman, explaining she is going to file criminal charges against Greg in a family court case. She makes it known she has not set a budget and she will hire the best representation. How do you do that if you've never had a W-2 from a job or a W-2 or 1099 from your LLCs? Interesting. Laura again makes it clear that if Greg has a relationship with her, she would drop all lawsuits. I'm seeing a pattern, guys. Deja vu. In the above email, Laura is claiming Greg's attorney reached out to Joe's office. Laura says she did not hire Joe yet, and she is representing herself. Okay, but it's fair for Greg's attorney to reach out to Joe's office to see if Joe is representing her. That's standard procedure. I think the fact that Laura got so upset at that is a little telling. I think she protests too much. Laura sends another email to Greg explaining she has not hired Joe. She attaches a photo showing Joe is a family friend. Like, okay, there's a photo. Oh boy. That's fine. All right. The above email was forwarded to Greg from one of his coworkers. Laura tells Greg's employer she has filed a lawsuit against Greg. She also attempts to get Greg's employer to share information about Greg's time off. That sounds a little inappropriate. This is the last email Greg sent to me regarding his issues dealing with Laura Owens. And she tries to get stalking and harassment protective orders against Mike, Greg, and Clayton, and Dave Neal, and Hey Rob. She's the one emailing Greg's employer trying to find out what he's doing on his time off. Sounds a little stalkery to me. Results of obtaining medical records. Okay. Throughout this investigation, it was discovered Laura claimed to have visited multiple medical offices. The following medical offices were served subpoenas to obtain medical records related to Laura's alleged pregnancy. Good. Sonoran Quest Laboratories. Okay, custodian of records, very good. This was a subpoena from 9/20/2024, and the response was received on 9/26/2024. On 10/16/2023, Laura participated in an HCG quantitative blood test. Very good. Quantitative means we're going to have an actual number instead of a qualitative result like true or false. The result of the test showed a result of 102H. This test is also the subject of a deposition question in which Laura admits to manipulating the result. She manipulated the result to show 131,902H. Laura says she manipulated the result to get Dave Neal to leave her alone about false pregnancy allegations. You know what would quash speculation about faking a pregnancy? Providing clinical proof of pregnancy. There were no other records provided by Sonoran Quest Labs related to this investigation. Very good. SMIL, Southwest Medical Imaging, and I think the L is for labs. We've got the quality administrator, 9/19/2024, response received on 9/26/2024. Findings, SMIL provided multiple medical records indicating Laura used their services. However, none of the medical records provided are related to this investigation. What? Laura did use an ultrasound image that shows the name SMIL on it to prove to Clayton she was pregnant. Laura admitted she changed the name of the medical facility, the date, and her name on this ultrasound. She claimed to do this so Clayton would not find out the location of where she participated in the ultrasound. Why does she care if Clayton knows where she got an ultrasound? I don't make that make sense, guys. This ultrasound is possibly a forged version of Laura's sister's real ultrasound, and it was also provided to Dr. Medchill so he could give his expert opinion during the evidentiary hearing. So this is the ultrasound we call the ghost ultrasound. It's very black and white, contrasty. It has the two nodes, and the shape of it, it kind of looks like a ghost floating around. It's interesting that the investigator suspects it's possibly a forged version of Laura's sister's ultrasound because up until this point, we have not had any evidence indicating where this one came from. We've had evidence indicating where other ultrasounds, like the Fiverr ultrasound, the Reality Steve video ultrasound, the color ultrasound from the Halloween costume that came from the sister that Gingras admitted came from the sister or alluded to came from the sister. Those we have information on, but not this ghost one. So this is kind of new information. I think this is interesting. So he says possibly. The investigation continues. Banner Health. We've got the director and custodian of records. Subpoena served 9/19. Response on 9/23. On 6/1/23, Laura participated in a urine pregnancy POC test. The medical record indicates a pregnancy control line of plus with a clear background. So this would be qualitative, not quantitative. You get a plus or a minus. HCG QI POC positive. Laura was given instructions for taking care of yourself in early pregnancy and was also prescribed a prenatal multivitamin to be taken once a day during the first trimester. Laura obtained a positive HCG pregnancy test from Banner Health. There are no other records to this investigation. And again, this is an HCG test. It's an indicator. And because Banner Health, they have to assume that you are receiving a positive result honestly, right? So they do what they do. They give her the instructions, they give her the vitamins and say, congrats, here you go. On to the next step, right? Which would be getting consistent care from an OBGYN, a series of ultrasounds, fetal heartbeat monitoring, all that good stuff, which would create a nice track record of clinical evidence of pregnancy, not just indicators. Family Planning Associates. Okay, Family Planning Associates. This is again 923. No records were found for Laura Owens, aka Emily Wilson. Emily Wilson being the name she wanted to change her name to, but then she dismissed that because apparently public court records are public and people noticed that she was trying to change her name. Scottsdale Perinatal Associates, Executive Director, 923, 2024. Finding no medical records were found for Laura Owens, aka Emily Wilson. The office did provide multiple pages of correspondence regarding Laura. She scheduled 4 appointments, rescheduled 3 times, and then canceled. She was never seen by Scottsdale Perinatal Associates. Why? Interesting. Planned Parenthood Los Angeles, Health Information Management, 9/19/2023, subpoena response 9/25/2024. Whoa, that's a year later? What is happening? Findings, no records were found for Laura Owens, aka Emily Wilson. Laura testified in Judge Mata's court during an evidentiary hearing that she went to a Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles and got an ultrasound done. That would be the ghost ultrasound that we talked about before. The ultrasound she was referring to is the forged ultrasound that is now believed to be her sister's. Believed to be her sister's. Okay. It's a little bit stronger language, but it's still not a positive confirmation that it is her sister's. We'll see. Honor Health, custodian of records, 9/19 to 9/20. Oh, this is another one, a year. Do they just have the dates wrong, guys, on these? 9/19 to 9/25. Did they just put the wrong date in here? I can't imagine these things took a year to serve a subpoena. In any case, I think they're all probably 2024. Honor Health provided medical records indicating Laura used their services. However, none of the medical records are related to this investigation. Suddenly Slimmer Med Spa. Okay. Spa director. Spa. We're at the spa, guys. I could use a hot tub. Finding no records were found for Laura Owens at the spa. Women's Care of Phoenix. Office Administration. 2/5/25. Finding Laura Owens made an appointment to see Dr. Jeffrey Higley, Dr. Higley, on 10/27/23 at 9:30 hours. The appointment never took place because it was canceled by Laura. Why? Laura testifies during a hearing presided over by Judge Mata that she was seen by Dr. Higley. Well, I think she said she was seen by Dr. Higley in the Judge Galketz's case, and then she was interrogated about it in the Judge Mata hearing, in which she clarified she made an appointment, it was canceled. And of course, Clayton's attorney, Deandra, points out making an appointment and canceling it is not the same as being seen by a doctor. Another inconsistency. Vita Bella Med Spa and Weight Loss Nutrition Specialist, 3/26/25. This is interesting. This is all redacted out. So this may be the photo. So it says, Greg Gillespie told me it was around July 18th. Laura claimed to be pregnant with his child. When she sent him a picture of a positive pregnancy test, no other messages in Laura's iCloud have been found from 2021 relating to HCG. Interesting. Vita Bella Med Spa and Weight Loss Center did not have any records pertaining to Laura. Doug, an employee at the center, told us the phone number rings to their office phones, but the cell phone it's associated with does not get used, so no text messages are responded to. Suspicious. Innova Med Spa. Subpoena served 3/26/25, response 3/27/25. We have a little redaction here, but then we have this information. The facility, okay, something name, the facility the ultrasound was taken at, and the date the ultrasound was taken. Laura claims she went to a Planned Parenthood facility in Costa Mesa, I think it's Costa Mesa, right? California, and used an AKA because she did not want Clayton to find out. Did she use a fake ID? Does she have a fake ID? Through the course of the legal proceedings leading up to the evidentiary hearing in Judge Mata's court, Clayton's legal team was able to request medical records from Planned Parenthood Orange County and San Bernardino County. No record of Laura Owens or her Emily Laura Wilson was found. During the hearing in Judge Mata's court, Laura was questioned about this. She responded by asking if Los Angeles County Planned Parenthood was checked, and she said she went to a Planned Parenthood there. Oh, you didn't go to LA? That's where I was. Oh, coincidence? During this investigation, the Maricopa County Attorney's Office subpoenaed and received a response from Planned Parenthood Los Angeles County. They did not have any records of Laura Owens or Emily Wilson. Mom Doc. This is a lot of places, guys. I don't know. I feel like when I lived in Oregon, I had one doctor for 26 years, one dentist, two dentists maybe for 26 years. Like there would be 3 places listed here for me. I don't know. This is a lot. Subpoena served 327, subpoena response 44. Findings on 11/14/23. Laura Owens participated in a doctor's appointment at MomDoc. During the appointment, Laura stated she had a positive pregnancy test on June, and the pregnancy was confirmed by Planned Parenthood. No evidence of this. Yeah, I mean, you can't say your pregnancy was confirmed when you used a fake name and then started changing the photo you took of an ultrasound. That's not a supplier-provided ultrasound in terms of chain of custody of that evidence. She stated she did not have subsequent care and started bleeding a few weeks after the ultrasound. Laura reported she passed 2 sacs, which appeared to have a membrane, but denied having much bleeding. And guys, this is not clinical evidence of a miscarriage. These could be, what are they called? Decidual casts? We have no clinical evidence from a medical provider about what's going on here. This is all just testimony. Personal testimony. She continued to take hormone pregnancy tests to assess if she was still pregnant and ordered a test from Any Labs Now. Any Labs Now. Call J.G. Wentworth. 877 Any Lab Now. Oh. Which showed a low level of HCG. She came to MomDoc to find out if she was still pregnant. You haven't even figured out if you're actually pregnant. Still pregnant? This doesn't make sense. During the assessment, Laura had a negative pregnancy test. Very good. Dignity Health. 5/7/2025. Findings on 10/11/23. Laura Owens participated in a telemedicine visit with Dr. Zeman. The visits are not recorded. In Dr. Zeman's notes, she wrote, since Laura contacted our office in June to report she recently found out she was pregnant. Okay, so that's self-reporting. I encouraged her to continue lamotrigine and start folic acid. And we heard Laura talk about not only those prenatals before from the vitamins after the HCG test, but lamotrigine and folic acid. She testified about that in the Galketsis hearings. Today, Laura reports she is still pregnant, 21 weeks with twins. 21? Oh boy. And that's self-reported. On 11/29/25, Laura participated in a telemedicine and visit with Dr. Zeman. The visits are not recorded. In Dr. Zeman's notes, she wrote, I last saw Laura in October. At that time, she reported she was 21 weeks pregnant with twins. Self-reported. Today, Laura self-reports she lost her pregnancy. Her OBGYN thinks it was a chromosome thing. What? Who is this OBGYN that thinks it's a chromosome thing? Guys, have you seen this before? This is new to me. She passed 2 things that looked like fetuses. Well, I saw the photo. I don't think they looked like fetuses. I thought they looked like decidual casts, but I am not a doctor. I don't think any doctor or pathologist or DNA expert ever examined that material. So what can we say about it? Nothing really. I don't think it's very relevant. It doesn't really prove anything. It's just bad evidence. Laura likes to go around and collect bad evidence. An HCG indicator test, self-reported notes, photos with no rulers of some tissue. A whole bunch of bad evidence does not make a compelling story. It doesn't make one good evidence. You need good evidence to make a claim stick. That's my take. Laura participated in appointments prior to and after the dates above, but doctors did not note anything about her pregnancy in their office clinic notes. Interesting. Why not? One Medical has acknowledged receiving a subpoena for Laura Owens' medical records and are in the process of sending the information to the office. The investigation continues. Interview with One Medical employees. Lisa Daniels, PAC, Madeline Sobek, Associate Counsel. Employees of One Medical did participate in an interview reference this investigation prior to a subpoena being sent to One Medical. Below is a summary of the interview. On 9/4/24, Detective Bo and I conducted a Zoom interview with Lisa Daniels. She is a physician assistant at One Medical. The interview was also attended by Madeline Sobek. Madeline is the legal counsel for One Medical. Very good. The interview was recorded and saved to the server. The following is a summary of the interview, although not verbatim. For additional information, please refer to the recording. I explained to Lisa a note that was sent to Greg from Laura. The note contained Lisa's picture and her title at One Medical. It also contained the One Medical logo. I asked Lisa if she authored the note. She told me no. Oh dear. I asked her if anyone had permission to use One Medical's logo, and she told me no. I asked Madeline if One Medical was willing to prosecute if someone used their logo without permission. Madeline explained that they want to wait to see how the investigation plays out, and she wanted to speak with her team about the matter. Very good. Take the wait and see approach. Safe. Madeline said the screenshot of the note appeared as though it was taken from what you would see in One Medical's patient portal if a provider sent a message to a patient. I asked Lisa if she was willing to aid in prosecution. She told me she would if necessary, but she is concerned about retaliation. Oh my gosh. And, after seeing everything related to these cases, and everything Laura is willing to do in court, and her attorney, Mr. Gingras, is willing to do in court, I think that's a valid concern. I asked Lisa and Madeline if they know who Julie Ulrich is and if Laura Owens was a patient at One Medical. They confirmed Julie is a provider at One Medical and Laura has been a patient at One Medical. Lisa and Madeline were shown a video of a meeting between Laura and Julie. Madeline confirmed that a patient can access a provider through a video call. I asked if her provider would document information regarding domestic abuse. Lisa said the providers document what patients tell them and they can ask appropriate questions about the situation. I asked Lisa if the video call was still available. She told me video calls are not saved, but the provider may document what was said in their notes. Madeline provided us with some information on how to acquire medical records. After answering some general questions from Lisa and Madeline about the investigation, the interview was concluded. Okay, next page. Second interview with Clayton. We're getting there, guys. We're on page 113 of 118. We can make it. Maybe more coffee. Marie the Baguettes. On 1/16/25, Detective Bo and I conducted an interview with Clayton Echard. The interview was audio recorded and saved to the server. The following is a summary of the interview, although not verbatim. For additional information, refer to the recording. Detective Bo asked Clayton about an ultrasound he saw during a call with Bonnie Platter. Of course, Bonnie Platter was one of Laura's prior attorneys. Clayton said he was on a Zoom call with Bonnie because Laura would not send Clayton a copy of it. Why not? Laura told Clayton her attorney had a copy of the ultrasound. Bonnie showed Clayton the ultrasound over Zoom, and he took a screenshot of it. Nice. This is the same ultrasound Laura admitted to altering. She said she changed her name and location and the location it was taken. Clayton believes she submitted this ultrasound in the hearing with Judge Duty. I'm not sure about that, but the ghost ultrasound did appear in the affidavit in the paternity case. The hearing with Judge Duty, I think, was the sister ultrasound, which was the color on the tabletop photo. Clayton speculates a lot of the photos and documents Laura was using belong to her sister. He believes this because Laura posted a video on Reddit that shows her dad touching a pregnant stomach. In the video, the person with the pregnant stomach's head could not be seen. Clayton said it was later proven that the pregnant person in the video was Laura's sister. I asked Clayton if she sent the video to him, and he could not remember. Well, I remember. She sent it to Clayton and Dave Neal and Reality Steve. And it was 2 video clips. The video clips did have the face mostly cropped out, and the video clips did not have audio. And when I looked at the metadata of those files to help Dave Neal out, I looked at the metadata, and those were rendered files that were rendered just before the email was sent to Clayton and Reality Steve and Dave. So they were not videos like if you take your phone and just make a video and then immediately send that file to someone or send the file later. It would have the metadata from when you recorded the video, and it would have the audio and all that jazz. So my hypothesis was somebody took a video and edited it, potentially changing the cropping and removing the audio, re-rendering it, and then sending it to Clayton, Steve, and Dave. Okay. Clayton told us people on the internet were saying that Laura's sister was pregnant, and the things Laura was posting probably belonged to Laura's sister. Reasonable hypothesis. I asked Clayton how it was proven that the video was Laura's sister, and he said it was speculation based on what the internet was saying. And then we have a redacted piece of information here. I would give my second cup of coffee to see what is redacted there. Okay, Clayton said he believes Laura was using some type of prosthetic belly to appear pregnant in court, and before that, bloating her stomach to appear pregnant. Of course, guys, my take on this is physical appearance is not clinical proof of pregnancy. Again, a whole bunch of bad evidence doesn't make a good evidence. So to me, whether or not she was bloating, whether or not she had a prosthetic, whether or not she was actually pregnant, it's all kind of irrelevant because we don't have the direct evidence. Okay. He said they were never able to prove she was doing this, and he was speculating this was happening because of comments made on the internet. Very fair. I mean, a lot of people have looked at those court hearing videos where she has the belly, she's standing up for a long period of time. People say, if you're that pregnant, how can you stand up that long? How can you not use the restroom? Why are you drinking Monster Energy drink? Why does it appear to shift around and move around unnaturally? These are all valid points of analysis. I'm just not sure what it gets us to in terms of a final conclusion. But I feel like it's good evidence from people who are experts because they've actually been pregnant. Okay. I asked Clayton if he remembers the video Laura played in the beginning of the hearing with Judge Duty. Clayton told me he thinks it's the video he posted about the RabGen test coming back with little to no fetal DNA. I asked Clayton if Laura sent him videos of her looking pregnant. He said he did. Clayton said he received a video text from Laura and she turned to the side and appeared pregnant. I mean, I don't know how you appear pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not. Thanks, Dr. Medchill. He also showed us a video of an ultrasound, baby A, baby B. And that is the Reality Steve video ultrasound. That's what I call it because it was originally sent to Reality Steve. That Laura told him was hers. Clayton told us someone online found the same video and sent it to him. He put the videos side by side to show the judge, but he felt the judge really didn't pay it much attention. Detective Bo asked Clayton about hacking, and he said Laura accused Greg Gillespie of hacking her. He also said Laura later denied sending the video Baby A, Baby V video to him. And of course, Reality Steve is ready to testify and show the evidence of the email he received and have a forensic investigator look at it. So that is there. I asked Clayton if Greg Gillespie ever sent him anything showing Laura did the same thing to him. Clayton said he and Greg talked. Greg told him he caught Laura using an ultrasound from a baby blog that was not hers, the Vanishing Twin blog. We read about that in prior episodes. Clayton said Laura sued Greg for forcing her to take abortion pills and felt like she was trying to do the same thing to him. Laura told him she bought abortion pills that she could take a month after the Plan B pill is taken. He said Laura asked him if he wanted her to take the pills. Clayton told her he did not want to have a child with her, but she could take the pills if she wanted to. So Laura's always trying to get these guys to, put a stake in the ground here. And Clayton is like, look, this is up to you. Clayton showed us a video that Laura submitted during the hearing with Judge Galketsis. The video is dated 10/9/23. And of course, you can go over to the Schnitzel Ninja channel and watch that hearing if you like. And shows Laura wearing a tan sports bra and black leggings. She appears to have a pregnant belly in the video. I mean, what? How do you know a belly's pregnant? Like, I don't know, man. I've always found it's safest not to assume you know whether somebody is pregnant or not unless they told you. But anyway, on 3/4/23, Detective Bo and I were able to obtain a copy of the video Laura used in the Galketsis hearing from the Maricopa County Superior Court. I showed Clayton a printout of communication between Laura and Dr. McCool that appeared to be from the followmyhealth.com portal on 7/13/23. He told me he had not seen that printout, but told me he took a similar screenshot from the followmyhealth.com portal. He remembers what the top of the screenshot looks like. Clayton showed me the screenshot he took from followmyhealth.com, and the body of the message started with, "Good morning. Multiplies can be seen." What? Multiples? It should be noted that Dr. McCool never sent either message we were discussing. Well, that's important. Is he saying Laura made up messages from Dr. McCool? Oh, dear. That's a serious allegation. Clayton told us he accused Laura of photoshopping documents because he could see pixelation. Because of the pixels, guys. Trogdor burninates the countryside. He told us Laura denied doing so. Fair. Clayton told us he was sending Laura's email to a blocked folder, and the folder was erasing them after 2 months. What? Oh, I see. So Clayton may not have some of these mails if they're older than 2 months. He started to screen grab the emails and their attachments once he realized all this was happening. Yeah. I mean, when you get into something like this, it ramps up, right? You don't really understand what's going on in the beginning. You don't know that you should be saving everything, screen capturing everything, recording everything. It's just not, it's not the initial thing you think to do. I asked Clayton if his email store in a cloud if his email is stored in a cloud, and he said he did not have the cloud connected at the time. Clayton also told us he saved his responses to her emails and to her text messages. Oh, more redactions. Oh. Detective Bo asked Clayton if he suffered any financial loss because of the situation with Laura. I think we saw that before, right? He says he lost a brand deal and can account for about $5,000 in losses. Clayton believes he lost tens of thousands of dollars in deals because of the situation. Detective Bo asked Clayton about a letter Laura wrote threatening to sue him for $1.4 million. And that was, I believe, right before she was about to be deposed in the paternity case. So she's trying to do a bargain to get out of doing that. Oh, boy. He said he sent the letter to his lawyers, but he said she sent a shorter letter in an email chain. Clayton could not find the letter in the email chain during the interview. This concluded our interview with Clayton. The rest of the recording was about setting up a time to download his phone. All right, and then we may be near the end, interview with Dr. Carmen Mora from Innova Med Spa. On 3/26/25, Detective Bo and I conducted an interview with Dr. Mora. The interview was audio recorded and saved to the server. The following is a summary and not verbatim. For additional information, refer to the recording. Deja vu. I asked Dr. Moore if they currently prescribe HCG. She told me they do. They do? Okay. Dr. Moore explained her office prescribes it for weight loss. I asked her if someone injected HCG and then took a pregnancy urine test, if the test would have a positive result. Dr. Moore told us if someone took an HCG injection and took a urine pregnancy test the same day, the pregnancy test can show up positive. Dun, dun, dun. Detective Bo asked Dr. Mora, how long does someone take HCG for? Dr. Mora said HCG is injected daily. Whoa. Detective Bo asked if a man were to take HCG and he took a urine pregnancy test, if the test would be positive. And guys, I'm not doing that. Don't ask. We're not doing science experiments in here in my home office. The doctor explained the urine pregnancy test is testing for HCG, so a male would probably get a positive result. Oh dear. That's why it's an indicator and not clinical proof. Dr. Mora did indicate she has never had anyone try it. Why would you do that? For science. I asked Dr. Mora how long someone usually takes HCG. She says usually 3 to 6 months, depending upon how much weight they are trying to lose. Fair. Dr. Mora said a month's supply of HCG can be bought at a time, and the patient can give themselves daily injections. Okay, so you get a month's supply at a time. Very good. It's like DoorDash. Detective Bo asked Dr. Mora, can someone use HCG to show they are pregnant? She said she wasn't sure because the amount of HCG that's injected is small, and she indicated the body is making more than the amount being injected. Dr. Mora said she has been selling HCG for 10 years and has never had anybody do something like that. She said most people know when you are pregnant, you shouldn't be taking anything. Oh, so they're saying if you're already pregnant, can you take more of it? Like, okay, yeah, you don't need to do that. Dr. Morris said each HCG injection has 20 milliliters of HCG, or 20 mil, whatever the mil are, whatever IU units they're using, of HCG in it. She told it would be better to ask an OBGYN about the amount of HCG it would take to show pregnancy. Fair. She explained that she doesn't deal with pregnancies. This concluded our interview with Dr. Mora. Yeah, why would somebody who's pregnant need extra HCG, right? And then there's something redacted here. And we are at the bottom with the submittal form. Okay, and we have different charges here. And that's it, guys. We are on page 118, the interview at Innova Med Spa was the final piece of this document. As the case evolves and they have more status hearings and there's more discovery, there may be additional documents for the docket for the criminal case, Arizona v. Owens, that we can look at. There may be additional FOIA requests that are serviced. It will come up with interesting things to look at in this case. So stay tuned, and we will go over those as they become available. I think the next thing I want to do here, maybe this weekend, is go through the latest audio recording of the bankruptcy case that Ms. Owens filed. There was a second hearing. We went through the first hearing's notes. We went through the first hearing's audio, and now we can go through the second hearing's audio. There's a lot going on in this second one, and I think it might be interesting to go through it and try to pause at particular times and point to evidence that is inconsistent and look at the inconsistent evidence with the testimony given in the meeting. So let's do that next. If you stuck around this long, thanks for your time. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your Saturday night. I am Bruce the Moose from Wisconsin. Stay chill, stay good, stay excellent to each other. All that good stuff. Have a good one.